Print security is often overlooked in organizations as they focus on safeguarding their hardware infrastructure. Listen to Brent Black, Director of Product Management for LRS, discuss the potential security issues that can arise when your organization isn't prepared.
Well, I think there's always been an increased focus in security over the years, and this has really been in conjunction with the increased security threats. And so at an IT layer, CIOs and CISOs are responsible for ensuring that data is protected, right? That data is a variety of formats and types, from HR to C-level executives, intellectual property, trade secrets. So they're responsible for safeguarding that. And they've done a pretty good job, right? There's a lot of technologies at play. They've locked down databases. They've locked down firewalls. They're focused a lot on more of outside threats versus so much on insider threats, although that certainly has improved a lot. But printing is something that's just often overlooked. It's a little bit trivialized, and perhaps the greatest threat with security is just apathy. Organizations not focusing enough on how do I safeguard the print and hardware infrastructure, the devices, because printers really are computers that put ink or toner on paper. They have embedded operating systems, very sophisticated protocol stacks, a lot of computing power in there, and they are just as much of a threat as a network-attached computer. And so when you look at both the devices and the content, that's something that CIOs and CISOs need to really think about and develop a more comprehensive approach to print security. So in light of known security vulnerabilities and risks relative to printing, what steps can IT organizations take to minimize or eliminate these risks? And basically, I think of a few things that are really key and important as part of a comprehensive print strategy. One is, how does one protect the printers and multifunction devices themselves, right? How to secure them from being a security threat or a point of entry for outsiders. Then there's protecting the actual print data. That's data in motion as it travels over the network to the device from where it was created. There's protecting the printing process at the device, right, to ensure that one user doesn't pick up somebody else's documents that they're not supposed to. And then there's protecting data at rest. Perhaps that print job between the time it was created and delivered would sit temporarily on a print server, for example, and protecting that. And then there's things like auditing, having an audit trail, who prints what, when, and where, of being able to track that. So these are examples of key elements of a comprehensive print strategy. So you may be wondering, how does one protect print data in motion? The short answer is encrypted. If the data is encrypted as it moves over the network, even if somebody accesses that through simple tools like network sniffer tools that are readily available on the internet, if some unscrupulous user were to attempt to gather that data, it would be meaningless to them. So we can exploit very sophisticated, heavy encryption techniques from the moment it moves from the server or desktop where the content was created, as it moves across the network, to the print server as an intermediate station, and then from the print server to the device. That traffic, that as it moves, as it transits the network, we can ensure that it is encrypted from at all points along the network. So how do organizations protect printing at the device, the printing process? You know, gone are the days of personal printers where they inhabited many offices in the building. We've moved to a shared device environment. We don't have standalone copiers. We don't have standalone fax machines. We've gone to multifunction devices. And to achieve cost savings and greater economies of scale, users share these devices, higher capacity, higher speed. And that sharing introduces security risks. People inadvertently picking up output that belongs to somebody else. So how do you fix that problem? Well, you fix it with a pull printing solution. Pull printing is often known by other terms, secure printing, follow me printing, but the concept is the same. Users submit their documents, they're held in a queue, they authenticated a device, any device in the network, they retrieve those documents, and as part of that process, they have physical security of the printing process. They're at the device. The output comes up, they pick it up, they walk away. And that is a great way to safeguard the actual printing process at the device. It is possible to protect print data in motion and during the printing process. So you may ask the question, is it possible to have 100% print security? And the short answer is probably not. Because there's always things that are evolving, and even in the case where you provide that level of protection, it doesn't prevent a user from accidentally leaving their documents somewhere they shouldn't, right? And making those available. So it's not possible to do everything, but you can add an extra layer that has both a cost-benefit side as well as a security side, and that's to take a holistic approach to auditing the printing process. Solutions can give you that capability where you know who prints what, when, and where, so that if you need to sort of backtrack and figure out if there was a breach, if a document was left somewhere where they shouldn't, who may have printed that document? What might the sources be to investigate further? And so not only can you get the cost side of knowing what people print, how many pages, what that cost you as a business, but you get the security and compliance side of understanding who did what, when, and where.
Thanks for watching. If you'd like more information about security issues and secure printing, please go to security.lrsoutputmanagement.com.